Listening to me, please, the staff, I see you are very many. I'm told 146 of us. Can you stop me getting complaints from Mombasa about service delivery? Because the only person who has power to stop that is yourself sitting on this side and you on this side. Write quality judgments. Don't write judgments for the numbers, and may God always remain with us as we do His work. Thank you very much.
Yes,
I hold the office of the Deputy Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya. The qualifications for that office are the same qualifications for the office of the Chief Justice. Any other question? Thank you very much. All of us will be happier for it. You know, it's like all these people who spoke here and asked those questions knew what I was coming to talk about. Of course, what I came to talk about I have done inside here, because talking to these people who are the Mtumkono people for Kenyans, the judges, the magistrates, those are Kenya's Mtumkono people in the judiciary. I've done my work. I will not make a promise I cannot keep. So the promise I make today and I don't keep, please hold me personally liable. Staffing, we know, and we will deal with it. We're just about to undertake a major transfer across the courts, majorly because of the promotions that happened within the magistracy in the last few months, 1 month, and for natural attritions also. Trust us to be mindful about the stations that need optimum levels of staffing. We are going to do a professional job, even if this is going to be the first time it's going to be done. Thank you, Chairman Matthews Nyambena, for support. You see, the judiciary alone can only do so much. But as this support that is so critical is coming, you will find us not wanting. We will do what the law and the Constitution asks us to do, and that support will just come to complement. But it is necessary. Without it, we feel lonely, we feel alone, but we shall endeavor to discharge the things that I have not answered to here are the things I have called domestic. They are not for the public ear, and those we shall deal with in-house. As for the court, you know, we have some very indisciplined Kenyans. We do our part, other people do their part slowly or don't do it at all. But as long as God lives, I will be back here if He gives life and the opportunity to do that, to make sure that I move the staff from this place to our new Justice Tower, not later than end of March this year. So help me God. We cannot have people sitting at corners like I have been told in our staff meeting inside here, when we have such a magnificent building here, and for some small issues here and there, we will finish the court, because I'll make sure that the judiciary does its part. Anybody else who doesn't then complete their part, after we have done our part, we shall get them out of the way, and we shall get us to give you service from us. Litigants will come there and say, oh madam, nimekuja kotini na kesi yangu isipokuwa ilikuwa isikizwe leo, haiko kwa list, haiko kwa course list. Many times I stop what I'm doing, I call the court and I say, hey, our clients are out there and they are saying the court file cannot be found. And I just say, that case will be heard today if it was listed for hearing today. And in no time, the client is in court before the magistrate or the judge and the file are serviced. I will continue to do that. In fact, now, better than I did before, because I realized through the many calls I have made that it isn't that the file is lost. It is that the file is deliberately misplaced, or in rare circumstances, somebody was just too lazy to do the right thing. They didn't pick the file from where it was supposed to be and place it before the judge. We are going to do this. We are going to endeavor, and may God help us to succeed in giving the Kenyans who pay our salaries, and very good salaries at that, not just service, but quality service. But we started doing this long time ago. I'm not answering those issues, those concerns, but let me say this. Those of us who live here know that since March last year, we got something very strange called the COVID pandemic, and that pandemic stopped us from doing a number of things. The reasons we didn't have sports days the earlier 2 years, those are the things I'm saying we shall do when we are alone domestically. But I think it's common knowledge, this thing about salaries, we are not that badly off. We are fairly well remunerated. I think we should start by thanking God that we work in the judiciary where the salaries are not bad, but that no one wants to stay in one place. That we appreciate. We have somebody called the SRC. While I'm around, I shall make sure that nothing is done outside the law, definitely not by myself. We have SRC that guides us, gives us guidelines, even for those people who are not subject to SRC, but they give us guidelines on what to do with salaries. Teammates, I want you to relax and know that you are not alone, and we listen to you, we hear you. To do that which the Constitution says is the primary mandate of the judiciary, with your support. I know we have had a problem with secretaries and so on and so forth, but I thought we had dealt with the issue of proceedings, but if we hadn't, the supply of proceedings in all cases, not just in one particular case, we shall look into that. We shall ensure that what needs to be done is done, and done timeously. Chairman, you asked that for the period I'll be your acting Chief Justice, I opened my doors. I came to this particular office on the 28th of October, 2016. The particular office being the office of the Chief Justice and the Deputy Chief Justice. On 27th of January 2017, I was given the honor of being the Judiciary Ombudsman, a position I was appointed to by the Chief Justice. This matter that Chief Magistrate Makuri and Chair Madis Nyambena have raised about e-filing. It's a pity I should be talking about this in the 21st century, but since it has happened in the 21st century, let me just talk about it. When we started the e-filing on the 1st of July 2020, we knew that we would encounter challenges. But we had to start from somewhere, and so we started on the 1st of July, 2020. Let me tell you, one of my priorities, and I've already started, shall be dealing with these challenges in the e-filing, because we are not going back. And we have started by doing this. We put together a small team, and they've already worked on what to do during downtime, so that no litigant would come and go back saying, I did not file because the systems were down. And systems will be down many times, not for reasons emanating from the judiciary, but emanating from everywhere else. There's no going kaput. How is that the judiciary's business? But when we at the judiciary, for lack of sufficient capacity, or for any other reason indeed, because I have had some lawyers call me and say, oh, madam, please be careful, because some of your staff are sabotaging the e-filing system. Let me not get any of our staff sabotaging the e-filing system. We came there deliberately. We are not going to go back. And any obstacle that comes between us and the success of e-filing system, that obstacle will have to be taken out of the way by doing the right thing. We're going to ensure, and we have started ensuring, that these challenges, when they do occur as they will, they are dealt with quickly. But should they quickly be longer than 20 minutes, then we have a fallback position where litigants and lawyers still can get their receipts for filing. Try me on this one. Just give us a little time. Please bear with us. Incidentally, we cannot succeed alone. We can't. We LSK across the country. And if e-filing does not succeed in Nairobi, I don't see why we should bring it to Mombasa. But it is going to succeed in Nairobi, and that is why it is coming to Mombasa. And we shall do everything. I can't do everything on my own. Thankfully, there are some extremely good people in this institution of the judiciary. Those people, led by myself, for whatever time we are going to act, we'll make sure that the e-filing system functions. And where it does not function, as occasionally it has happened, unfortunately, the Vice Chair of the Judicial Service Commission is a practicing advocate. She makes sure that I don't get sleep. When her members cannot file, she doesn't shy sending me complaints even at 10 at night when I'm supposed to be preparing myself to sleep. And I'll say this for me, and I hope, Vice Chair, you will be big enough to corroborate my statement. You have not sent me a single problem that I was unable to resolve. We are going to improve on that. We are going to do the right thing. I opened my doors on that day, and they have never shut, and they will not shut, Mr. Chairman. You see, when I deal with these complaints, this is what happens. I do not resolve the complaints, but I help towards the resolution of the complaints. If that door were to be closed, we wouldn't help. So what happens is, anybody who comes to Nairobi to complain, because I sit in Nairobi, they go to the Secretariat office. And when they are told I'm in the building, which is nearly always, they refuse to deal with the Secretariat staff and come to me. And I do not have a particular ombudsman day. Every day for me has been a judiciary ombudsman day because for me, it is a question of not just service delivery, but quality service delivery in the shortest time possible. And this is what I have done and what I hope to continue doing during not just this transition period, but going forward. Ensure that where there are complaints or challenges of any nature, they are dealt with quickly. And so, Mr. Chairman Matthews Nyambena, I expect you to be one of my first guests in the Office of the Judiciary Ombudsman possible. Where the problems are internal, we'll deal with them. Where they are external and beyond the control of the judiciary, I think let the blame lie where it must. Chairman Matthews Nyambena, on this court filing fees, some things do get annoying. If the waiver was for, as it was, not paying fees for disputes that are commercial in nature up to the amount of 1 million, was it limited to Nairobi? The answer being no, I want you to know the following, that we already put a committee together that was doing the standardization of the payment of the fees across the country. That report is someplace in the office of the outgoing Chief Justice. Give me just a few days, that I will make sure is out of the way. They will not blame me, they blame themselves. Ours is an endeavor to ensure that we not only deliver service, but that we deliver quality service in the shortest time possible. I've started with Mombasa. I'll see, according to the diary and the busy schedules in the office, how many courts I can cover before we are given a new Chief Justice, who will find the ground set so that they do not have to ask questions as to what happens here, why is this happening, what has happened in the other place. If that happens, it won't be for want of my giving it my very best. And with that, I must thank you for listening to me. Please, the staff, I see you every minute. I'm told 146 of us. Can you stop me getting complaints from Mombasa about service delivery? Because the only person who has power to stop that is yourself sitting on this side and you on this side. Write quality judgments. Don't write judgments for the numbers. And may God always remain with us. As first court over 100 years ago, I could have gone to the courts near Nairobi. I chose Mombasa for its historical status in the country, but more importantly for the work it does, because it does have quite a heavy workload. You have heard them say that they started streaming proceedings live long time ago, before Chief Justice Maraga and I started doing the business of e-filing. Let me attempt first to answer the issues raised, which by the way will form my statement, but if anything remains for my attention after I have answered those questions, then I shall surely deal with it. Alicia, now this is not a domestic meeting. We shall deal with these staff matters internally. And in fact, We have dealt with them already to a very large extent. Not since I became acting Chief Justice, which by the way is not a major issue, because that's how it is supposed to be in civilized societies. It is merely by operation of the law.